So you never. We're live. Um,
Hello.
hello. So I'm just going to get the phone right here just to make sure that we're live. For anybody who doesn't know, sometimes we have tech issues, but never again. And we totally have a tech issue.
Oh,
Oh, wah, wah, wah. Waiting for Kelsie Huff, it says. I don't know what that means. I'm here. I'm here, YouTube.
there's usually a slight delay.
Yeah, that's true. So, Jen, I'm sure it's going to catch up to our charming selves soon enough, but do you want to tell the folks why we weren't here?
So we took a week off. August does have yay! August does have 5 weeks, so we were like, let's just chill for one of them, and then we were all set to go last week, and big crazy storm, and it's weird because
Yeah.
Kelsie is in Chicago, and she texted me and was like, I'm in my basement, and I'm like, oh no, and then I was like, all's clear here, like we're totally fine because I'm in Indiana, and right. Like a half an hour before we were supposed to meet, I'm like, we got the tornado sirens going off. So we are to stuff our family and a cat into the bathroom downstairs.
I know, but just for everyone who knows, hey Alice, hey Ursula, hey everybody who's watching, like we were like, we're gonna do it. We're still gonna do it.
And then I could do it in the bathroom with the cat. I know how well
that would have been amazing. We're like, ready, set, 5 minutes. Jen's just in the toilet.
Like, oh, I know. We're crazy night.
Reacting.
The cat. That was what the cat would do.
So we're here. We're going to try these evening write-ins. Again, we were doing lunchtime last month. The weather stopped us last week, but we're going to try some evenings. So let us know in the comments if you're into it. You know how we love to please everyone.
That's right. Or not.
Or not. Okay, so Jen, I think that we have our super fans here, so they probably don't need this breakdown. But in case anybody's watching this later, real quick recap of what the heck we're doing here and why we do it so speedily.
Ready, here we go. So we are going to do 3 writing prompts tonight. We're going to do a 5-minute, a 10-minute, a 15-minute. Each of them, you can take the prompts any way that you want to take them. You can do your own prompts. You can do, part of the prompt, whatever you want to do. And we encourage everybody to do a free write. That means either if you're handwriting, or typing, just try, typing. Like a cat. Just try to let your mind go and not stop and edit yourself in any way. Just go for it. That's basically what free write does. So we're gonna set a timer. It'll count down for you. We'll take care of that. And it should be fun.
Yeah, awesome. And we have a theme every week. This week's theme, and if anybody joins in, it's just always in the description box. So this theme is party. I don't know why you have to say it that way. What do you do?
Cat hands. We are not in a party mood, but we
Correct. I still have on my mask from outside. Sorry, everyone.
It kind of looks like a little scarf. Is that what it is? Like it doubles as a scarf?
Gator. It's supposed to be a gator, which they say is not. They are saying this is not good anymore. Anyway,
why are they not good? I
don't know. I didn't read the article, so internet, don't yell at me. But it's something about like trapping the particle. I don't really know, but I have about 4 of these.
Up later. I shouldn't make fun of that because people will be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna eat." Read the article.
I'll read the article and let everybody know right now. Okay, but we're rambling on. We're waffling, as they say. We love a good waffle. So let's get into this. If anybody has any questions, we have the prompts in the description box below. They're always there if you want to check in. Otherwise, let's get the show on the road because I haven't written it in a stupid long time.
It's been bad. It's been bad, you guys. Okay. So our first prompt is going to be the 5 minutes, and here we go. All right, 5 minutes. Name your favorite or least favorite holiday. Name your favorite or least favorite holiday.
On your marks, get set. Right? Right.
Nice.
Okay, we stopped that timer right quick. Not really. Awesome.
I would love to hear what people's favorite or least favorite holidays are. If you want to throw those up in the chat.
Yeah.
Kelsie, what about you?
It turns out a lot of my opinion about holiday is based on what candy is connected to that holiday.
That's real fair.
That's where it started for real.
The holiday plus the candy.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving, the American holiday of Thanksgiving, was the least favorite because
candy sucks.
Candy sucks.
Yeah, there's really no candy connected with Thanksgiving unless it's those really gross harvest
like the candy corns.
Yeah, the candy corn that's like shaped like a pumpkin and stuff. That stuff's disgusting. Yeah.
People love it, and like no shame if you love it, but my taste palette, my tongue does not. Not a fave. Ursula, I agree with you. Ursula says, I dislike 4th of July. That was up there as well, Ursula, for me. The problem with 4th of July, I don't like the noise. I'm not really a fan of the patriotism. That's just me. I'm like going to get in trouble on the internet. But there is sometimes candy in the parade, so I'm a real sucker for that.
Do people have you been to a 4th of July parade though? I don't think I've ever actually been to one.
I'm from a real small town in the Midwest. And so, we do
have it here, but I guess we went one time, but I don't feel like there was any candy involved.
Yeah, I love that we're talking about candy. And Alice is like, I'm working on a book over here.
Come on, you guys, pull it together.
Allison, this is great. I'm glad that you're so working on this book from November. I love that you're using this to do that while we're waffling on about candy. Revision number 1. Let's give her a slow clap. Yeah.
I really enjoy, I just have to throw this in for the candy thing. So the Reese's cups, when they're shaped in the pumpkin or the Santa, they are so much better. Like they taste better. I don't know
why. I agree.
Never get or the egg. I would never go get a Reese's cup, but I always get those in the shapes.
You like the egg or the Christmas tree? Does it matter?
The Christmas tree, the egg, and then there's a pumpkin one for Halloween. They're so good.
They're good. I agree. So what was your least fave holiday for this 5-minute shake up?
Halloween is my favorite. I think it's for a couple reasons. One, I put down, I said it's a holiday without all the emotional depression.
Even though the death is there.
One death though. It's like celebrating death. In a good way.
You're like, this is the least depressing holiday, even though I'm dressing like a ghost.
No, I love the costumes. I love Halloween decorations. I love looking at other people's decorations and like what they've got up. It's always so fun. I love like that it's like this community thing where everybody's outside walking around. You see all your neighbors, you're chatting. Obviously there's candy involved. There's just, I don't know. I like the atmosphere. Plus it's the beginning of the holiday season. I like the beginnings of things. I like anticipation. So I'm like, all this holiday stuff is going to come, but it's actually, you're not doing it yet. Because Halloween's sort of like, it's like a holiday, but you're not really doing it with your family. You're kind of, you know what I mean? Like it can just be a friend holiday or like your own little family.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I love it. The party beginnings. I wonder if that's a thing that's going to come up because we are going to be talking about parties in different capacities of like, you know, where you or your characters, where they're excited about within a party element. Like even if you
party prep. Like that's, I love that.
Yeah. And I wonder when you're writing about parties, because I mean, this can happen. Like even if, you know, I mean, Alice is writing her novel. So maybe this doesn't like help her out, but it is interesting to think of like backstory and stuff. Like where is your character at a party? Where are they before the party? You know, that can be like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Like I never thought.
What party did they like? What part of the party did they hate?
Yeah. I think that's stuff I think that kind of stuff is helpful for me when I'm writing stand-up or if I'm writing a short story, even if it doesn't make it in. I love it. I also want to mention, because this is something I started touching upon, I started going into holidays and like the pagan origins of holidays and how they still creep in. I'm like, that's all about Halloween right there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Well, should we jump into the 10-minute bad boy? Oh, you turned into a robot a little. Sad days. Maybe that's like your Halloween costume or... Is she still frozen? Oh, she's still frozen in time. don't worry, you guys. If she's frozen, I am. We're gonna move on, and hopefully she'll catch up with us. So our next prompt, I actually wrote it down in case this would happen. It's a 10-minute prompt, everybody. Your character is throwing a party, right? When an uninvited guest shows up. What happened next? What happens next? So another 10 minutes. I'll put it on the clock. Your character is throwing a party when an uninvited guest shows up. What happens next? And let me just share this screen for you. I'm doing double duty, you guys, as Jen turns into a robot. Oh, come on. Stop that. We are not. We're going to put this on 10 minutes. There we go. 10 minutes starting now. And let's make it big. Start that writing, and I'll let Jen in if she comes back. And again, your character is throwing a party when an uninvited guest shows up. What happens next? I know that we're not sharing this screen, guys. Sorry. I want to share it. There we go. right.
Yay.
Did it. And welcome back. What a...
Thank you.
So nicely done.
So much tech issues. I don't know if my sound is as good, but I'm back.
You sound amazing. Your face
good.
is there. It's all great. I'm gonna were you able to write it all this round, or
yeah,
you
I
were?
got it. It was like I had like 7 minutes, so it was fine.
Okay, great. I'm just gonna finish up my one sentence if you wanna if you wanna chat about what you wrote, and I will pretend to listen.
Nice. So I was doing the party thing.
Oh no, she's gone again. She's such a tease, that Jennifer Ann Coffee. I don't see you, but
what's the matter?
I don't know, but I can hear you. You've got like a little. You look like Hal, just a little bit.
I know. That's
yeah, I can't see you, but there's a circle, and it kind of expands when you talk. So we'll all be run by you, the robot of the future.
Okay, I might have to come back in. I'm not sure why. I know it does have to move. That's hilarious. I don't know why my video's gone.
That's okay. We can chat it out. But and again, I know that we didn't like promote this a lot, so there's not a lot of folks watching now. So if you're watching later, we've still got Alice and Ursula here. But if you want to share anything, if you found anything interesting in this one write-in, this one, the 10-minute one, let us know. I found some good stuff. I know Alice just like, no. I know this happens. Thanks for your patience, though, Alice. I appreciate it. Anybody find anything interesting with this party situation? I feel like I think I was influenced by our conversation because I was writing about a character who I really like to start with environment. That's kind of where I go. I don't know if that's where you guys go, but I was having a character struggling making punch, and so I'm like, why is she making a sort of nostalgic drink? And then it turned out she was making this like 70s themed party. And the more I wrote, I found out it was this party that was actually for her mom. Her mom died, and I'm sure it was like a Halloween/death thing that we were talking about. And it ended up being this sort of nostalgic, weird, wacky, lovely funeral for her mother, who she misses terribly. And she had this beautiful catchphrase that she kept saying that her mom always said, which is like, if you don't like it, fuck off right down the street, which I love that phrase for some reason. And so by the time I got to the end, somebody's at the party, and it is her mom. And I was trying to write the last sentence, like, I'm dead for 3 weeks, and you ... And I'm like, oh, so I don't know if it's a ghost. I don't know what it is. So that is exciting, because I usually don't write. I'm really trying to write more short stories and things. Usually I'm writing stand-up, so I'm really glad that the short story thing is happening. She's back, everybody. She is back.
I could hear you. So your story sounded awesome. I love the ghost stuff. That's my favorite.
I know. And I'm not sure if she's a ghost or if it's like a con or what, because his mom seems like so something zany and cool, but I love it. Oh, Ursula's got something. I like that you ask why. Oh, thanks, Alice. I'm always asking. Why am I writing? Why is this happening? What is going on? That's sort of
it's very smart, though, because that's how you like dig deeper into it. You're like, why am I here? What is everybody doing? Why did they say this? Why, you know what I mean? That's how you find out.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I love compliments, Alice and Jen, so I appreciate it. We got what do we got? Ursula here. We got Ursula's interesting name. So 3 guests wanted to lure him into the kitchen to whack him, while the narrator wanted to calmly ask him to leave. Then she went to confront him. He turned to her. She screamed and fainted. A lot of action going on. Yeah. Nice. And interesting names for the 3 guests who wanted to whack him. I love a good name. If somebody who's like whacking somebody, you got to give them a solid name, right?
Yeah. And I love, is it whack? Like, are they like just beating him up, or is it like,
I mean, yeah, that's a good
mobster whack.
Yeah, but you never know, right? You never know. That's where I went. I went mobster whack. How about you, Jen? Were you in the tech able to write anything, or was it?
Yeah, I was still kind of working on this story that I've been working on forever, and I just kind of play with it here and there. But like, these sort of murder at the resort. So obviously, it's like they're putting together this bachelorette party, and then that sort of house, the resort detective shows up, and they're very irritated because they're trying to have a party now.
Yeah.
So they're like, you need to be hanging streamers. We don't want to hear about your clues.
Yeah. How much do I love the phrase resort detective?
I don't know if that's a thing. It's good gonna be a thing because I'm really into it.
I like
Back
it.
in the day, like a year, like in the 40s and stuff, they would have house detectives, right? Hotel detectives.
Like security, but they weren't called security.
Yeah. And I think it was like in super grand hotels. And so I just really like the idea of like a resort, like having a detective on site.
But I love it that it's like a cheap ass La Quinta or whatever, and there's like a detective. Or like a Motel 6. I don't know, whatever.
I know, and he's got like, fedora on and a big trench coat.
He's really serious about it, but it's just like somebody who stole, I don't know, like the pool. I don't know, whatever.
He's got like the hotel stationery for his notebook.
I would read this book. Amazing.
Yeah, so I really enjoy. I think it just shows off he wants to solve, the big murder. This is his big case.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Well, we're getting near. We always want to make our write-ins snappy because we used to do this at lunch, but I feel like we're important gals, got things to do.
That's right. At any minute I could go off again.
So we want to do the 15-minute one. That's what we're doing now. We've got a 15-minute write-in. So Jen, if you do the prompt and if you go, I will continue on in your memory.
See if I can hold on. I'm using my new fancy iPad that I just bought, so I should be fine.
Okay, gotcha.
I was touching buttons the last time. That was my fault. Okay, so 15 minutes. Your character has been hired to perform at a birthday party. When they arrive, they realize that everyone is a zombie. What next? Got real. Your character has been hired to perform at a birthday party. When they arrive, they discover everyone is a zombie. What happens next?
What happens next? And I would love to start the timer, and I did. On your marks, get set, right. Ah, we did it. Stop. Stop. We did it. We did it. All right. I'm just going to finish up this sentence. I am.
Yeah, do it.
I'm not very good at timing myself and my thoughts.
It's
While I
hard,
do that,
know.
look who's here. Alley cat, alley cat. So Jen, what did you find in your 15 minutes?
This was super fun. So I just kind of tried to do something new. And this was just a guy named Jeff. He's a musician who like hires out for kids' birthday parties and that type of thing. So he shows up. And, it's like a super rich, fancy house. They've got like a petting zoo for the birthday party and a bouncy house and like ridiculous stuff like that. And he's just like, hey, I'm running a little late, getting all this stuff out, walks in, and then he can't, see anybody. He doesn't, walks in the kitchen and there's the birthday kid wearing a big hat says like, I'm me. And he's eating his cat.
Oh, hello.
The magician's just like
that's great. And so his he was
really
quite
fun.
frazzled, and that's why he wasn't noticing the dying world around him. He's kind of
he just he doesn't see anybody around. He's really paying attention to just like all these spoiled kids, and I never had a party like that, and my mom just made me a cake.
So he was like in his own head, like how dare they? Yeah.
Yeah, and also like collecting his equipment, like this and that, and playing stuff, and then just
not on the cat.
On this cat.
So that was the big reveal, right?
And
no shame, alley cat. Yeah. Yeah.
No worries.
I have a hard time with these. I love like writing up to the moment. So I feel like I don't even get to the point of the story that I should. So my goal for next writing is like just be there, like know it right away. Because I have a tendency to like, and I love what I wrote. It was very fun. But like she didn't even realize what's going on, this clown, until the end. You know what I mean? This
clown did not know what was going on.
No. Well, I had her in the car, and like she's very like loving the application. So I'm like, oh, she's in the car, it's like air conditioning, and she's like really loving putting it on. And this is like the only time she has alone time in space. And then I got, for some reason, I'm like, well, what does it matter that she's in an air conditioned car? Why did I write that? So I'm like, oh, she's in LA and she used to have this other life and blah, blah, blah. So I have all this backstory. And then finally, like a kid like hits her car and is like, streak. And she's like, what the Christ?
I love
like
it.
Her dead boyfriend, who happens to be, of course, because this is a terribly written story, who happens to be in the cemetery right next door. If I was watching this movie, I'd be like, bad, boo. But like, the earth starts coming up and she's just like, I'm out of here. But like, it took me pages to get there.
But see, I did the same thing. I had him spend all this time talking about, this is the type of magic I'm going to do, like a shorter show because of blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And like this and that. And then at the end, it's like the reveal. But I don't know. I like that. I like the build up. I think we're both anticipation people. Yeah,
and I think also like for the guise of a short story or something that I usually write for stand-up, like sometimes that one reveal and that one punch is the story. I think it is okay. Yeah, I think just for me, I just am using these as like trying to explore different things. I would like to see what happens in the moment or after. I'm such an anticipation person that I'm like, oh, I should probably watch that and explore a different time period. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
And here's the other thing too, you can always like just leave one of these stories and then pick up exactly where you left off like the next time, just
right. I know,
if like your own write-in or like for one of these write-ins.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. And if anybody else found anything, of course you're always free to share. I love when you all do, but I feel like I love the 15-minute one. I wish I like the fact that we only do an hour just because I feel like it's such a manageable time. Mm-hmm. But in a world in which I could write more, I would love just more 15-minute ones. I just don't have.
So you feel like it really comes out, yeah.
Yeah. And I am going to save these because I think going forward, Jen, I'm not sure, I know that we're always setting goals, and maybe into the winter, I would like to just say this on the internet and to you, so I'm accountable. I really need to go back and flesh out some of these stories because I think some of them are like the beginnings of something. And then I just kind of move on. Oh my gosh. Ursula, you guys are so positive today, and I love it. So supportive. Everyone, I love your faces.
It's the journey. It is.
Yeah.
I have a couple that I feel like I wanted to do something bigger with, and that's a really good idea because if we continue to do this in the winter, and the winter is as horrendous as everyone's predicting, it might be more. I mean, maybe we could do like a 2-hour one, or maybe that's a little bit too long. 90 minutes, where we could like and then we could do like 30 minutes of editing or something. That would be really fun.
Yeah, and let us know in the comments what you guys want as well. But I know they're out there. I know it's like we are a very like small part of the larger like virtual writing, because there's some people. I think there was like a world write-in going on with a lot of the writers where it's like just giant,
cool.
Massive, and like really long. And some people are like, we're gonna stay up till midnight to do it. So I know it exists out there. That's just not necessarily our. That's not how we're participating.
Right.
Yeah, but I would love it. I would love it. So next week, I'm still going to collect these stories, and we're still going to do like 5, 10, 15. But let's just think about the winter and how we want to rock it.
Yeah. For like next one, I like that idea too. We can mix it up and maybe or maybe we could do like 3 15s or something. That could be fun too.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I love it. So now, Jen, we're getting close to the 8 o'clock hour. Do you have? We like to end with any sort of words of wisdom, and I don't want you to cut out during your words of wisdom. So let's do it early, just in case.
I thought about this in the car today when I was like going somewhere, and then I was like, oh no, that seems really weird. But I think I'm just gonna go with it. It's been a weird night. So I thought about this separately. If someone gives you a jug to drink out of, just don't drink out of it.
And Jen, as someone who's grown up in Tennessee, this is something you have experienced.
Yeah, I drink out of a lot of jugs, and I always regretted it. Like immediately, like it burned instantly. I always felt really sick afterwards. I never really knew what it was. So I think it took me a long time to just be like, just say no, thank you.
So I love it. You're like, don't say no to drugs. Say no to jugs.
And no to jugs. Do not drink somebody's jug that they just brought to a party. Do not do
Solid advice. Solid advice. I love it.
That's for the younger crowd, but it's still important. Pass it on. Pass it on.
We'll pass on that wisdom. Thank you, Jen, for always sharing. And I do want to. We usually end with that, but because we have. I always want to put out. Ursula has said something about going back.
Yeah.
It should be something we go back, and also Alice does like the small write-in. So I love it. Everybody keep giving us feedback, because we're just out here trying to have a good time, and all feedback is welcome. I mean, not all feedback. Don't be a jerk, but
If you have feedback about my jugs, no. Wait, that came out so wrong.
We do not want to ask the internet to talk about your jugs. All right.
Feedback on drinking out of jugs. We're done.
We've gone off the rails. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out now live. Thanks for hanging out later. We'll be back next week at 7 p.m. Central Standard